Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to Sundering Tarot. If you're new here, hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Celeste, and we're going to cover something that I've been meaning to cover for quite some time. This is the top 5 decks, tarot decks to be exact, for the year 2023. Yes, I am quite late in posting this. I apologize. But in no particular order, we're going to get started. This is the Crow Tarot by M.J. Colonnay. I actually thought maybe, because I wasn't the greatest fan of the artwork, it's not my style. And because this is a solid crow-themed deck, I figured, well, I'll give it a try, but I was not 100% certain on this deck of whether or not I would find it readable, usable, quite as much, if it would be kind of a hit and miss deck for me. And it's funny because the day I bought this deck, my ancestors called for me to use it in a reading, and I ended up, I think, doing like back-to-back readings. I did 2 or 3 of them. And it's funny because spending an hour doing readings right away after I purchased this deck, I fell in love with it. And it's because of what this deck does. Believe it or not, this deck feels like a hug. So for that, and how comforting it is, I love it. So it's in this list. Alright, next deck. Some of you will recognize the backings of these. This is another popular deck. This is Chris Ann's The Muse Tarot. And yes, there's renaming in this deck, not only for majors or suits or pages, there's also landscape cards. And this is more like collage style artwork. This is not my shtick. This is a brighter deck. I'm usually more, darker tones. But after playing with this deck, after getting it, I think this deck is very aptly named for the Muse Tarot. I can't think of a better title for this deck than Muse Tarot. And it's very much what it does, and figuring out what its strengths and weaknesses are. It's been quite interesting how that plays into the naming of this deck. It's very poignant. Let's put it that way. And the collage style artwork, it doesn't really bother me much anymore, even though it's, still not my style. It doesn't distract from anything. And I was worried about the kings because they are sideways, if I'd be able to, distinguish which way they needed to go when they came out. I really don't have any problems with this deck. It's actually quite nice. And moving right along, because I don't want to keep you here all day. We still have 3 decks to go through. This is Anne Turian's. This is the Tarot of the Abyss. I actually like this deck for the artwork. It's very well done, even though it's sketches, and it's so pretty. I don't know if my camera's going to focus on that to show you the proper detail in this deck, but the way things flow and move together, it's beautiful. It's pretty. My fear with this deck was not the additional cards. I know some people are aware that this has an extra 10 of swords, 3 of swords, and a couple other cards, but my fear with this was that it was going to be too much black and white, and that I wouldn't be able to distinguish the cards from one another when they were on the table. Reading with this, I had no problem, none whatsoever, with this being a monochrome deck, which is kind of nice, because a strictly black and white deck, that's a lot of non-color. There's other monochrome decks that are just like, red and black, or, a green and a cream color, what have you. But this was solely black and white. And it didn't bother me. And in fact, the additional cards really helped me. Here's one of the additional cards, the Ten of Swords. I liked having the extra Ten of Swords. I liked having the extra Three of Swords. It gives a additional layer to the reading while using the same deck without having to have a clarifier. Because let's face it, when you're dealing with certain types of energy, it's really hard pulling from just one solitary deck to clarify and enunciate certain types of energy to a certain extent. So it's easier to highlight certain energies with this deck because of those additional cards. And it's fantastic. Very useful. Alright, moving right along. Some of you are going to recognize this deck for sure because of the backings or the silver edging. And you'll definitely probably recognize it when I flip it over, because this is the Tarot of the Mystical Moments here. Katrin Weiz-stein. There we go. I'll get my stuff together here shortly. I actually enjoyed the artwork in this deck. This was one of those that I saw being used by others. I was really curious about it. And I was able to read the cards via other people's videos without them having to say anything. I got used to identifying certain cards from this deck, and I was really piqued by the interest of the kings, because this deck has male and female kings, and I wanted to know what that felt like. And I actually do enjoy having both genders. It's a nice little spin on some of the cards. The artwork is intriguing, even if it's not the shades of colors I would normally gravitate to. But I found the additional kings useful. So this goes on my list. And last but not least, for my top 5 tarot decks of 2023, this is the Lorenzi Tarot by Irene Lorenzi. Now, everyone has feelings about this tarot deck. It's got really funky artwork. Some people don't like the, you know, dismembered bodies or missing body parts or any of that. And this reminds me of 1950s pinup girl versus nautical themes, all kind of blended together. And it's kind of nice. It's funky in its own way, and I don't mind the ocean theme, although I would equate this deck more to Gemini or Aquarius energy. The artwork, I'm not squeamish, I'm Scorpio. I love it, and I actually kind of enjoy how this reads, despite feeling more Gemini Aquarius energy to the deck itself, which is not exactly an easily read energy overall for me, but it doesn't slow me down. It gives you quite a different perspective, and I like that. So for something out of the ordinary, something offbeat, something that was one of those, hey, it's intriguing, it's interesting, but I could fall flat on my face trying to use this deck. This was one that I was happy it worked out as well as it did. Alright, my lovelies. We've gone through all 5 decks. So, love them, hate them, interested in them, let me know. Do you agree with some of my points on some of these decks? Do you disagree with them? Let me know in the description box down below. I'd be very grateful and appreciative to hear from you on the matter. Anyway, my lovelies, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.